Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sherry Jennings. I'm the Director of Client Relations here at BOSS, and we welcome you to the AAA and BOSS Driving Operational Efficiency and Productivity webinar. BOSS would like to thank J Carmello, Regional Manager of Information Technology, and Keith Armstrong, the Application Developer, for hosting this webinar and sharing how AAA Northeast uses and benefits from BOSS Support Central within their organization. This webinar is hosted by AAA for AAA, and we look forward to your feedback, suggestions, and questions. Please note that all attendees will be muted during the webinar session. We ask that you submit your questions and comments via the GoToMeeting questions box on your screen. It'll be on the far right-hand side. If there's a little plus sign beside your question, if you'll click on that, you can enter your questions there. The questions will be collected and answered during a Q&A session upon completion of the webinar. Afterward, you will receive a short survey, and we would love to have your feedback. It's very valuable to us, which enables us to improve from a product, support, and customer service perspective. This webinar is being recorded and will be sent to you via email. My email address, phone number, and important BOSS contact information will be provided at the end of the session. Leland Cruz, Senior Network and Systems Engineer, will be available during the webinar for technical assistance if needed. This webinar should run approximately 1 hour. We thank you for joining us, and here's J Carmello and Keith Armstrong.
Thank you, Sherry. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Sherry.
Good afternoon, everyone.
You're welcome.
AAA Northeast, as an organization, we have a robust system going here. We have 2,500 employees and about 3,500 workstations. We needed a ticket system that was customizable to meet our solution, to meet our needs, and provide the requirements that we had as far as audits and reporting structure. We brought BOSS systems on board, and we were able to customize this solution. I'm going to have Keith run through a demo on our web interface and show you what we've done with the system. Keith, if you want to run that, launch the web page, we can take a look at that.
Okay, I'm just seeing my screen with the AAA Northeast right now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, for everybody, that's basically, like Brian said, a lot of employees, a lot of departments, a lot of different software, and some of the issues we had, as you can see here, ease of use for the users was one of the most important ones we wanted to do. Categorizing the tickets and such, and this is a very short PowerPoint because that's all the slides I actually have. So now let me just go into what we actually did. I'm going to go into the web interface, which we have on our Navigator home screen, and from any of the departments, the Navigator home screen at the top here has a list of apps, and we have our Support Central right here, and that opens up the web interface. Now, it opens up right to the new ticket screen. This is the new ticketing we created to make it easy for users. Very quickly, right now we have our computers, IT department. That was what we had originally. That's what we had designed for. And we just recently added our facilities building services department on. So they have different, quite different tasks from the computer science. So first thing you see is we have the common tasks. So the computer IT, these are a lot of the common tasks we get. One of the most common ones is, of course, password resets. So here we can select password reset list. It gives us another list, and it's basically password reset for each of the software applications that we have that require a username and password to log on to. We can easily create a ticket very quickly here by just, 2 clicks will get you to what you want. Whoever the ticket, a lot of times for the computers, we do have tickets are being submitted by managers for their staff. If you're submitting a ticket for yourself, the Me button will just fill in your own name, which just should come on. Should put me in there in 1 second. Come on. Security levels, the severity levels can be changed. Most of the tasks are low. If the user does not want to receive an email, they can uncheck the yes. Attachments can be added. I'll just show you real quickly. We can pick up a file. It does require a description. I'm just going to say test. And we add those to the list down below. Now, if we want to add multiple, we can put 4 or 5 attachments as needed in here, and once we submit, those attachments will all be linked to the ticket that's created. User notes, user forgot their password, and we'll go over some of this when we get to the client application, but we have 4 global fields. Every ticket has these fields, and it generally fills in the user's information. The reason it's not showing all my information is because I'm actually logged on with my admin logon, which doesn't really like that much. Still doesn't want to work. Is this because we're in the webinar?
That could be because we're on the admin portal as well.
Yeah. No, it shouldn't. Okay, well, let's just do this. Should work that way. Okay, I'm just going to put a name in. So basically, we go through this. This is for the global, and I'm going to just put test here because I'm going to create this ticket. And I'm going to submit the ticket. And, okay, we should have the ticket. I'm not sure. Doesn't generally show my list. Oh, there it is. There we are. Okay. I'm thinking the webinar is messing this up a little bit. Normally, when you submit the ticket, it takes you directly to this screen. So you would see the newest ticket at the top. And here it is. So it was created a couple minutes ago. It was last updated the same. It's from, it actually did take, it's created by me, so that it has that there. Has not been assigned yet. It was assigned to the help desk team, and so on. So,
and with this, anytime a ticket is created, an email is automatically generated that goes to the responsible team. So for this particular software, Globalware, that generates an email that goes to our Globalware team. I believe this team only consists of 2 people, but that's all customizable. We have this divided into telecom teams, teams that support our D2000, D3 applications, teams that support membership, and general help desk. We've got it broken down into different groups, and all of those groups will receive an email that there is a new ticket to be addressed.
All right. So from here, the user will get an email that the ticket has been submitted, and like Brian said, it will go out to the team. The user will see this. They can open up the ticket. If they need to add something else to the ticket, they can do it at this point. This is the web display for tickets. It shows the ticket details. As you see to the right, you've got the team, and it has group category, subcategory, which will automatically set because I picked this as a reset password. We'll go over those some more in a minute. The extended status right now is in queue because it has not been assigned. It's asking for a technician. So what generally would happen is the team gets the email. Either the team lead can assign somebody to the ticket, or someone on the team can assign it to themselves if they want to. Now, I just got the email, so I'm going to pull this onto my screen here. This is basically what the user sees, the ticket information. They get, it was submitted. The name I put in was Jennifer Arellano. and it's a password reset for globalware software. So this is actually the same thing that technicians will see. The user note, severity is low, status is a new ticket, and so on.
And this was important to us, the ability to customize these fields and create drop-downs and easily select what we need it to be guides the user through the system. So this way they don't have to know exactly where to send this ticket to. If they know what they need, if they have an idea that, they need a password reset for this application, or their mouse broke, or they got a problem with the monitor, a problem with the printer, whatever it may be, the steps that they select will guide them through and generate this email off to the correct group.
And the last thing at the bottom here, we have to view the ticket. You can click on this link, and basically that link takes you to this screen and opens up the ticket just how I had it. So basically it takes you to the ticket. The tabs down here, now this is most of the ticket details. The user note is here. You can see the user forgot the password test. It was put in by me on this date. There's no technician notes yet because obviously the technician hasn't been assigned. If there's additional information, these are the fields that I was saying each ticket has. So this is the additional fields. We'll usually show the creator's phone number and division they're in. Any attachments, I actually had set that attachment, so you can see there is one attachment here. They can put more in if they want. Timesheets, that we'll go over that after, and purchase orders, same thing. Just really quickly, the last one is the ticket flow, which will show that the ticket was created at the bottom, email to the ticket user, which is myself, email to the ticket team, which is our help desk team, which went to quite a few people, and the attachment was added and the user note was added. So basically the ticket flow shows you a lot of information on the ticket, especially as more and more gets done to it. I'm going to close out of here now, and we'll turn that down, and we'll do that. And we're going to go into the Support Central client. Now this is Support Central's actual application. This is what all the technicians see, and this is how they generally work with the tickets. So the first thing is we're on the help desk up here at the top. We're on the help desk tab, which is the far right one. This is where it opens up to, and it shows you right now I'm in all tickets, as you can see at the top left. It's highlighted. So these are all the tickets that are currently open in the system. This gives you a good display. These columns here are all user customizable. I move the status and the extended status next to each other because these are color-coded, and it just makes it easier to see what's done, what's not. You can move them around. However, when you have the client and you adjust all these columns, you close the client, the next time you open it, they stay there for you. So the problem, if you go to someone else's computer, is it makes it hard because you're used to your columns and they'll have something different. When you want to look for a particular ticket, there's several ways to do it. On the side here, we have this whole tree, which looks a little complicated, and it can be sometimes. I'm going to collapse all on this just to show you. The all tickets, you have assigned tickets and new tickets. You can, right now we're in the all tickets, so we see everything. You can actually cut them down. There's 214 tickets assigned, and there's 43 new that still need an assignment. The groups, these are all part of the setup of the catalog. You set up your groups, and then under those are categories and then subcategories. Now, if I click on, say, let's go with hardware network. This will only show you the open tickets in the network, and up here you can see it says hardware network. There's 32 open tickets at the moment. And you can break that down further if we want to see if there's any on the network port, and there's 13. Now, that's kind of nice, but the thing that makes it a lot easier for most people is we can also do it by the teams. So on the team, you see how many tickets are assigned to, let's say, the New Jersey team. And I have none open at the moment. Okay, so we'll try, oh yeah, help desk team is the easiest one. All right, there's 59 open, and when you open up the folder for the help desk team, we have our help desk technicians. So I can go to Jose, and Jose currently has 5 open, and 2 of them are on hold, 2 of them are pending. There's only 1 in queue that he's working on. So you can easily track what tickets the technicians are assigned, how many are assigned to the team and such. Also, a lot of to sort the list. If I go back to all tickets, you can also do a grouping, and I want to see group by this column. So if I want to group by the technicians, I can. Okay, so this basically splits it up, and it shows you every technician we have on all the teams, and tells you Brian has 1 item, Brian actually has 30 items assigned to him, and so on. I usually don't look at it. It took me a little bit to set this because I usually don't look at it this way. So that's how they work on tickets, and I'm going to go into, this should have mine that I just did, right? No, because it went to somebody else. Okay. So anyway,
sending these tickets and emails to the individuals or the groups allows the cut down on the time, on the response time, because it's going to the correct group. These views in here also allow the groups to share information. So you can go into all tickets as a member of the HR team and see what the system admins are doing, or what the mortgage team is doing, or the security team. And then it allows us to share information back and forth and assist each other with tickets as they come available.
Okay, now when the technician comes in, like I said, the emails go out to the technicians. They can assign it to themselves. Actually, that's a good question. Does it show unassigned tickets because I did the group? Probably not. Now, how do I get out of the group? Collapse all groups. Like I said, I don't usually do this. I usually just keep the list in front of me. I gotta show, where is the show the box? You know, I just did this the other day. All right, anyways, we'll go into new tickets. There we go. All right. So the team lead can open up a ticket. Now this one is assigned to the network team, so I think we only have a couple people. There's 2 people on the network team. Their names show up. They can be selected. Once they're selected, that's an update to the ticket, and new emails will go out. And new email will go out to the technician saying, you know, ticket has been assigned. Of course, it's been assigned to them. Then the user gets an email that also says that there was a technician assigned. So that email is basically the same as the new ticket email, except that it will now include the technician's name and I believe the technician's phone number to the user. Now, once they complete the ticket, and actually I'll go over a couple of things that the technician can be updating. I'm not going to actually assign it at the moment, but we will go through the rest of it. The description is basically set. You can't change that. User notes. If you put in a user note, this is visible to the person that requested it, the user. Technicians will put a note in here if they need more information on the ticket, and because that's an update, that generates an email to the user who will then see the latest note, which will be the one the tech just put in. Technician notes aren't seen by the user. It's used for, how did we do this, what had to be changed, things like, technical notes that tell how to complete the task. Additional attachments can be added. And we can, actually I should say this looks different from the web interface one. In this case, you have to actually right-click. You get a pop-up box and you can add attachments. If there are attachments and you've selected them, you can delete the attachments if you put the wrong one in. When you add an attachment, you get a pop-up box that allows you to search for the file, put a description in, and add it to this ticket. We also have timesheet information. IT doesn't use this much, but it is being used by our facilities. Basically, it's the same thing. You right-click, add timesheet information. You don't need to select a team unless you don't see the person you want or it's a different team. Generally, it's going to come up to whoever's logged into the computer, so it comes up with my name. Date and time you can change if needed. Time spent is asked for hours and minutes. And the task type, which these are customizable, and we'll go over that in a little bit. So you can add new ones in. And if there's a particular note on this, this task, you can also add that in here. It keeps track of the times, and it will give you a total down here at the bottom if there's multiple that are put in. Purchase orders, also, IT has not used this very much, but our facilities are using it extensively. Same thing, it can add a purchase order in. Pot number and PO number are optional, but you can put that in. The quantity and the rate are required. It will automatically calculate out the amount for you, and the description is also mandatory. Same thing, it will total at the bottom, so whatever purchase orders you have in for that ticket, you will see a total at the bottom. And again, the ticket flow we already went over. When you make changes, when the technicians make the changes, if they're not closing the ticket, then they submit it with the Submit Ticket Changes button in the middle at the bottom. That makes the changes to the ticket, but doesn't actually close it out. Once they've actually completed
hey,
the ticket,
Keith.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just going to ask for you guys to give a little information on, for the attendees, just basically what benefit your facilities department gains from being able to keep all of this information in one place, and how, it's a time saver, it's a money saver, basically just how they can track things. They can enter serial numbers. They can, even if they're tracking assets, and do maintenance-related things, and set dates for ahead of time when they need to do some sort of recurring maintenance. I was just hoping you would share that as well.
Okay. Yep.
We worked extensively with the support team at BOSS to customize this solution down to what we need. We rolled this out to our building services department, who's actually taken more advantage of some of these systems, such as the purchase orders and the timesheet information. This allows them to track and monitor the teams, see what's going on, how much time is being spent to resolve issues. It can also help them to be proactive if they start to find, as they're going through reports that they can pull. They can pull these reports and find out, well, we're spending a lot of money on belts and hoses for the air conditioning units. Maybe it's something that we have to look into. So that's helped them to save some time, be a little bit proactive. Same thing on the help desk side. When users enter their ticket, they're comfortable entering the ticket through the web interface, stepping down through the selections that we provided, knowing that they'll be directed to the correct team. Getting the information to the correct individuals is of utmost importance. That's how it gets resolved quickly. So that's some of the real benefits that we've seen out of what we've done here.
Okay, I'm just trying to find, actually, I went into the closed tickets. I want to find an example for the facilities. There we go, collapsed. Yeah, that should have a few of them. Let's see, somebody should have purchased. There we go, this is good. All right, now, this is actually a closed ticket from our facilities. And one of the things you'll note is on the tabs, the technician notes there's a 2, timesheet there's a 1. That means there is 2 technician notes, so they entered a couple notes on what they did for the job. And they put in timesheet info, which, yeah, I think they made a mistake there. We'll have to fix that. They got 1,800 minutes of labor for fixing a hinge, I guess. I think they might have meant 3 hours and hit an extra 0. We'll have to fix that one up. Let's see, what would be, I might have some purchase orders. Nope. Entrance, broken door closure. Okay, yeah, it's good. I found one. All right, so purchase order. Yeah, basically they put in $89, one for a door closure. As you can see, it does total up at the bottom, so you've got the $89. Facilities is very happy to have this. Because now they can go back and look exactly what amount of money was spent on the ticket instead of having to figure out which purchase orders were for what job that they did and such. So they're keeping this. This is a good example, 60 minutes for travel, and then an hour and a half to actually do the labor. And this was the broken door closure at the Waterbury branch. So it took them an hour to get to Waterbury and then an hour and a half to, or more than likely, I think the travel is to and from, so it was an hour round trip and an hour and a half to fix the door. So that's a good example. And place door closure, yeah, okay. All right. Well, just to go over
another thing that we worked on quite a bit, and again, the BOSS support team was a great help to us with this, was onboarding of new employees. I think as AAA clubs, we all face that same task of trying to bring new employees into the fold, and what permissions do they get, what applications do they get, security rights, different things like that. We've had this customized down to a point where we actually create parent-child tickets. So an HR person will go in, or a manager will go in and enter a new hire employee, and then they can selectively go through and say what they need. Do they need a new PC? Do they need a phone extension? Do they need, rights to certain applications? And they can create one parent ticket with all these sub-child tickets, and those tickets, again, will get forwarded off to the appropriate teams. And once all of those tickets have been addressed and completed, the parent ticket closes automatically, knowing that everything has been done. So we can have Keith, actually, if you want to run through the web interface and go through entering a new.
Yeah, I was trying to find an example of the tickets. Closed ticket doesn't show me. I'm stuck on where. Why can't I get this out now? Okay, well, I'll go through the creating it. All right, so we'll go back to the web interface. And what we have is on the common tasks, some of these are our common tasks. The time clock issue is a good example. That's the task that we would do. There's some lists here. We have the password reset list like I demonstrated. It brings up another list. New hire of employee does the same thing. It's a little different. The new hire employee, I click on it. This is a ticket. This is a multi-ticket list. So at the top we have the parent ticket, and this is not working from the webinar as good as it does when it's normally on, because normally this parent ticket is automatically checked. The parent ticket has to be selected. If you try to submit the ticket without it, it will not submit tickets. As you can see, when you select the parent, the globals are available, and we have custom fields for a new ticket. The effective date, the new hire name, job title, supervisor, and so on. From there, commonly, you're going to create the logon account for the user, which is the Active Directory account, an email account for the user. If the new employee needs to have a telephone or specific computer hardware, we select these. And then we have quite a list of add the user to the software. Again, this is the security software, requires a user and password, so they have to be put into the system to be able to use it. So most often when we start, we have the Members Plus at the top of this list, and then it's basically alphabetical. Well, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, Members Plus, D2000, D3, and POS is the most common softwares that we're adding. And then from there, it's just alphabetized. If they need to be put on an email distribution list, all the other software down, and add user as a tech to the support central. That's usually not on a new hire, but just in case. So basically, right now, if I submit this ticket, I would have to, of course, fill in information. Because it's multi-ticket, if there is no other, these custom fields are for the new hire employee plus the note. Since as you notice, the note field was right below the attachments and also the severities. Because we're doing multiple tickets here, they already have a severity set for a new hire, so we're not able to change that, so those are not displayed. The note is not displayed here because you can put a separate note in for each of the tickets. Parent ticket note, the computer logon note, and the email note. And if I do say add to Members Plus, let's do that one. Then if you notice, it requires the employee number for a Members Plus add user, and you also have the note for that ticket if it needs one. So submitting this will generate the parent ticket with 3 children tickets with whatever, and the parent ticket, the description includes the information from these fields. Each of the child ticket will have the parent description and then a description for the specific task. For example, the Members Plus will say, it's adding this person on this date for this department and branch and such. And then it will also say, add the user to Members Plus. That ticket will go to the Members Plus team, who adds and removes users from the system. The email account will go to, I believe, the help desk. I believe the rest of them will go to, well, the other 2 will go to the help desk. And the parent ticket is generally assigned to the IT manager so that they can make sure that all the tickets get done.
Support Central is being used. Support Central is being used by all departments within IT. Currently, like I said, the information gets automatically routed to the appropriate groups and appropriate teams. In the future, well, recently we just rolled this out to our building services. In the future, we're going to bring on our HR department and probably our internet services group, and any other group that's willing to come on board with it. Each department has its own internal help desk in our club, and they are all looking at this and wanting to take advantage of it. So in the future, we're going to expand this out and have additional fields and tabs for other groups to come on board.
Yeah, so basically all the departments are using it in terms of IT. So when it's going to, like, the Membership Plus, that's going to the membership department. There's a couple people that maintain the users for the software, and that's basically all they're taking care of. Anything, if it's a ticket from the department for a specific workstation, monitor, keyboard, anything like that, it would, of course, go to the help desk. Network items would go to the IT network team and such on. But software, adding users to software, password resets for software and such, those go to the department's people that are taking care of that for the software. Eventually some of those departments might have their own ticketing system for other things. I don't know if insurance probably not, but yeah, like Brian said, we're going to be bringing on HR soon, so we'll have to go over and they'll get a set of common tasks. They'll go into here and an additional, list, and if there's anything that requires the multi-ticket, like the new hire, which actually we might migrate that to HR because that seems more along the lines of HR. So basically, this interface screen, there's a lot of capability to it. You can put custom fields in for it, as you can see, and with the multi-ticket, it does kind of extend down a little bit when you put quite a few tickets in. I'm just going to cancel that to go back to the blank screen. Like I said, there is the hardware issue list. Any of the lists will give you up a list of tasks that you can select from. And what I hadn't gone over, and one of the things that makes this much easier for people, is there's a large list of tasks that we have set into the system. You can't always find it on the common tasks. Those are the most common ones. There's always, of course, other ones that aren't common. And we have a search button, and the search button gives you a text box to display. So if I put in, we want to do a video conference, I'm just going to put video conference. We're going to search the tasks. Comes up with the most likely entries. If I was having a video conference and there was equipment issue, it's right there. I can select it. It puts the custom fields for me to put in, and I can submit that ticket. If you want to set a meeting ID request is to set up a video conference. Also has some custom fields. So basically, we're trying to make it a few items. This is what we've made a lot of progress with for the user. To show you an example really quick, when the techs go in and they want to create a new ticket, this is the new ticket form. Now, as you can see down the left side, customer is the AAA. It's still S&E. We have to change that over. You can select the user, and then there's a group category, subcategory, which is the catalog. And people might not know when, the user had a very similar interface screen on the web to this, but they were required to put in the group, the category, the subcategory, and most of them did not know what to pick. They would come in and say, oh, I don't know, maybe it's this, maybe it's software. I can't find the software I'm looking for, so I'm going to just pick this that I know, and so on. And what happened is we had a lot of tickets that were not categorized correctly. The description would be, I need my keyboard fixed, and they put software and so on. So most of the people did not want to use the screen that looked similar to this. So they'd end up calling into the help desk, and the technician would have to put it in and do that. That was why we switched over to, I'm trying to switch to the right one. There we go. That's why we actually came up with this. It just makes it much easier because when you submit the ticket, if I submit the ticket for a password reset, it automatically enters the group, the category, the subcategory. We have it assigning the team even when you do it, so that the help desk doesn't have to get the ticket, look at it, and say, oh, this goes to this team. So there's a lot of, it basically makes things much easier for the help desk because tickets that aren't going to them go to where they should, and they don't have to worry about that. It also, most of the users do like using this. It's a couple clicks to get its task, enter some information if there's custom fields. They can add attachments if they need, and they can just put their note in. It is much faster and much simpler. Now that we have the facilities tickets, they were taking phone calls, putting jobs into a spreadsheet. They love having this way. They quickly go in and they're quickly setting up their tickets, even if they have a quick job they do. I had someone in the hall stop me today and say, oh yeah, I just fixed the soap dispenser in the restroom. I put in a ticket and I closed out already. I'm like, oh, that's great. Because they really want to have this ability to track all of the items they do and then report on them at the end of the year. As another help, I'll just quickly go over, there's a lot of configuration that can be done to this, and I'm going to go into it quickly just to show you the severities. You can put your own severities in. We had just added safety for our facilities, so if an item is a safety issue, they can select that, and we actually coded it so that it goes to the safety, our safety people, so they get a copy of the ticket so they know that what needs to be done. Statuses are hard-coded by BOSS, so there's these 4 statuses. However, you can change the color coding to whatever you want. Extended statuses, you can add and remove, so you can set up the extended statuses however you want them to work. Again, those can be color-coded. The email notifications, basically you can select if you want an email sent out when it's created for the user, when it's created, closed, or changed, or reopened. For the tech, created, closed, changed, or reopened, and escalation, which I'll get to in a minute. We also have the ability on the right side of this is to edit the template for the email. Most of them are very similar because we set them up. You're putting in the description, the user note, the severity, status, extended status, the technician's extension. That's for the user. But most of the user emails are very similar. Same thing with the technician, except we give some more information. They get the category, the subcategory, the user's name and extension. Though we do list the tech. So this can all be customized, and you determine if you want to use it or not. Ticket prompts. We don't really use this, but you can prompt for notes when things change. As you see, ticket is reassigned, you have to put a note in. Groups changes, you have to put a note in. Right now, we don't really force that, and you can keep a ticket from being updated when the status is terminated or action required. That's just something else. Here is the custom fields. Now, every ticket will get this set of custom fields. Like I said, this is the phone, the department, the location, division. Right now, as you can see, the display values is actually these are stored procedures that we created to get this information from the system. So it looks at who's logged in, who's creating the ticket, and then it goes and gets their user and pulls the phone number, the department name, the location name, and it shows as division on the ticket, but we have it's the state. Now, yeah, we're doing pretty good. Okay.
As you can see, this is highly customizable, and we've worked extensively with the team at BOSS to get this to what we need, to what suits our needs. You know, our needs are probably similar to what you have. Like I say, onboarding and security and things like that are very important, and it's a common issue. But we can customize this down, and with the help of the BOSS support group, they can help you customize this down to whatever you need. The other thing we do with this is we do a lot of reporting. In the end, we generate reports quarterly, end of the year, monthly sometimes if we need to, for anything, for various reasons. And that helps us be a little proactive in what we're doing as well. If we see that there tends to be a lot of issues with a system, Apollo print managing. We had a lot of tickets on that. We pulled a report and said, oh, you know, we've had 15 tickets in the last month on this. What's going on with Apollo? We went in and looked at it, found some tweaks and things to make changes there, and cut down on the tickets. Ran another report the next month, and the ticket count was down considerably from there. We also do surveys at the end. When a users put their ticket in, the ticket's been closed and everything's been resolved, the user gets a satisfaction survey. 5 simple questions. You know, did you like the system? Was it easy to use? So on and so forth. We take those surveys in, and I review those, and we look for changes, tweaks that can be made into the system. Again, we'll just call up BOSS, and they're always a phone call away. You know, they can remote in, help us out, make the changes. If it's something that Keith can't do for us, BOSS is always there to help us out with that. With this system, with what we've done here, we were able to get an approval rating of 87% excellent across the board, and that's through all the departments, and that's really an outstanding number for us, especially coming from the various systems that we had throughout the club. Like I said, departments had all their own systems. When we merged as a club, there was different systems through different organizations. We brought all that in, and BOSS worked with us to get to what we need, bringing in the New Jersey, the Connecticut, the New England regions, and bringing that all together into one usable system for us.
Yep, okay, I'm sorry.
Hey, Ryan.
Yes.
Are you, oh, sorry, guys. Are you using your reporting for auditing purposes? I was just, you know, if you guys are tracking everything, I would think at quarterly, year-end, since you're entering all of your timesheets and all of the work orders, that that would be beneficial to you as well for auditing purposes.
Yeah, like I said, we do the reporting. We do it for audits, mostly for new hires and terminations, to make sure that the security rights have been either granted or taken away as required. We're not in IT. We're not really tracking our hours too much per se. That's really done in facilities. The guys are, you know, hourly and what are they doing on jobs and commute time and things like that. But we are using the reports and the auditing for new hires and terminations to make sure that when our auditors come in, we can generate a report and say, you know, this is how many new hires we had. Here's all the tickets for them. These are the terminations we've had. And the auditors will come in and say, you know, all right, well, I see this ticket. Give me John Smith, and let me make sure that he was taken care of properly. And I can pull that up through a simple report.
That's great. And are you using currently the mobile applications?
We are not. We are looking to expand out into that. Unfortunately, with our club, with the mergers that are going on and the PCI requirements that we have, I'm trying to work with the security teams to take advantage of that. That is one of that's really on my wish list for 2016, because building services would really love to have that. We'd like to get that on the tablets and get that out in trucks and everything so they can take advantage of it.
They definitely would benefit from them. The gentleman that fixed the faucet could actually update and close his ticket right after he finished it and wouldn't have to even go back to his desk. So
That's
just
correct,
wanted to see if you guys were using it. We're happy to go over the mobile application at the end of the webinar session if anyone is interested in that. We'll be more than happy to, you know, just do a 5-minute chat about the mobile apps and just, you know, what benefits you can get from using it. So I'll let you guys go back. I'm going to mute myself and you guys can continue. Thanks so much.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I took a look at the mobile app and I downloaded it to my tablet, and I think facilities would just definitely love it because they could do it right on the job site. But yeah, as Brian said, we have some security issues they have to address before we can start using that. To go back to what I was doing, just to finish up on the screen I'm showing, the timesheet tasks, you can put whatever you want in. Some of these kind of came from BOSS, some of them we added in. Travel was just added because facilities wanted to have it in there. You can configure that. The one other thing I want to touch real quick before we get to questions is the workflows. This is very helpful. Workflows, basically, you can trigger them depending on the tickets. You can trigger it in various ways, and it can send out emails or make changes to the ticket. What we've been generally doing is we make sure that the ticket gets assigned within a certain amount of time. If I go to the first one, I'll give you an idea. This is how we set it up. You set it up by either from the date created of the ticket or when it was last modified, which is, you know, in terms of like assignment, it was just assigned or it was just put into the system. You can do it by customer. The only customer we have is ourselves right now. You can set it for specific users, which we don't usually use, or assets, which we're not using. But you can set it up by a particular group, category, or subcategory. The severity of the ticket, which we do use. The extended status, which as you can see, here it's assigned. So once the ticket is assigned to the technician, it immediately within 1 to 5 minutes is the lead time. The action it takes is it emails the technician. So this is from this workflow. So as soon as you assign a ticket, that technician gets assigned. You can put multiple lead times. There's quite a few, and there's a lot of different actions. And if I cancel this for a second, do you want to close the work? Yes. I'm just going to go, and we're going to do a new workflow just to show you lead times. Oh, you're going to make me do something? Or is it not going to work? Okay, we'll just take a severity critical. Really, you don't want to work for me? Okay, we'll go back in. Yes. A good example. This one, the ticket with a high priority has been assigned, and the time is 3/4 of the due time. Now, the due time is based on the severity. You can put in the times for the severity. So when it's high priority, we're giving it, it has to be done within 8 hours. So this was actually set for 6 to 7 hours. And again, it'll email a technician. It's basically a warning you're coming up on when it's due. It hasn't been processed yet. We have, if it hasn't been assigned, from the time it's created, if it hasn't been assigned within 2 hours, a reminder email goes out to the team. If it's not assigned within 3 hours, then the IT manager gets an email. Once it's assigned, like I said, the technician gets 3/4 of the time that it's due, and then the time it's due. It's all programmed in. So those help a lot to make sure that tickets get completed in a timely fashion. Just to quickly go to the tab for reporting, so we'll get some questions here in a minute. There's quite a few reports. A lot of them come from BOSS. There's the canned reports. There's appliance metering. There's 5 reports under there. Exceptions, so a whole bunch of exceptions there. You have to, a lot of them you have to go through and find what will be useful. I'm just going to go to the survey here real quick. One of the ones we created was survey results breakdown, I think was the one I did. Yeah, so it tells you, this is basically our survey, how would you grade technical support. As you can see, there's 43 excellent, 2 good. Would you sign up? Would you like to try? Oh, no, that's, okay, that's survey results from, that's not the current survey, but it gives you how many of each answer came in from the survey, so that's a nice report to have. The survey results, I think, actually put in what the answers are, and sometimes it takes a while to load. So this one, yeah, it's asking each question, and then you'll get the answers over to the right. Some of the notes go very long in the column. So there's a lot of reports, and you can also generate your own custom reports as needed. So that comes in very handy, especially like Brian said, for auditing and such. I think we covered almost everything in Brian, unless you can think of anything else I haven't.
Yeah, no, like we say, this has really been, customized to fit our needs. The reports have been extremely helpful. The ticket logs, the workflow, everything is really, it's a very valuable tool for us. Couldn't get along without it, actually.
And one thing that I do know, I was keeping on my notes here, is the one thing I didn't go over is the catalog, which we call it the catalog. So it's the groups, which as you see right here, we have admin, facilities, capital. We've got 4 facility groups, and then we've got hardware and software, various groups for IT. It's a group, and then it's a category, and then it's a subcategory. This is for purchasing requests. We put a special category in that's basically those are the only entries for admin. Most of them have multiple of each, and this is very important on how you set this up so you can categorize your tickets. But again, that's one of the things that I was saying. The users don't care about that. They just want to get their task done, but we want it to be categorized correctly for our reporting. So the fact that we took that out of the user's view makes it much more accurate reporting for the end of the year. When they had to select their own group category and subcategory, like I said, most of them didn't know what to do it. The first time I had to put a ticket in when I started here, I looked at it and said, I have no clue. I was going to, my superior saying, I need to put this ticket in, but I have no clue what to pick from this. And right after that was when we started like revamping the system, and the first thing we did is redo this whole catalog. And once we had it redone, it was much more organized, and we took it away from the users. Now the tickets are correctly categorized, I would say 98% of the time. The only time we have an issue is if they can't find an actual task in the system, and I usually will get a call and I'll add something in. If I have to add something to the catalog, if I have to add a new category or a new subcategory to cover it, we put the task in, and I'll go in, and if they put a ticket in and they had the wrong categories, once I have those in, I can go in and change the ticket so that it's correct for the reporting at the end of the year. And I think that's basically everything I have to cover. Brian?
Yeah, that covers it. Like I said,
right.
we chose BOSS over some of the other applications that we had because of their the customizability and their support. Their support has been just outstanding with us. They've really worked with us to come up with a phenomenal product here.
Well, we appreciate you guys taking the time to go through this with us. I'll tell you, one thing I wanted to ask, you are not using the asset management tool, is that correct? In IT right now?
No, we're not.
Okay. One thing I wanted to just share, and I'm not going to go into any great detail because I'm not a technical person, but we can start with the purchasing of any IT-related piece of equipment. And that can go from inventory to being assigned. We can enter serial numbers. We can enter pricing. We can enter basically manufacturer information and everything associated with that. Let's say it's a laptop. Any service being done, anything that's broken and fixed, and we can track that laptop from beginning to end. If you've got it sitting in a closet waiting to be assigned to someone, you know exactly where it is, you know the serial number that it belongs to, and that cuts down on a lot of equipment that goes missing. So I wanted to bring that up as well. We have a couple of questions, and I'll go ahead and read those off. The first question was, what percentage of your users submit tickets via the portal over the phone or email?
We're probably at about 80% of the users that are submitting tickets are submitting them through the web portal.
Okay. The second question was that your catalog is quite extensive, and they're wondering if you would be willing to share your catalog.
Yeah, we could take a look at that. That's
okay.
Not a problem.
If you want to send it to me, Brian, or Keith, I can then distribute it out to the attendees.
Sure.
Okay. The next question is, does BOSS have CMDB and change management options available? Now, I'm going to let Leland Cruz answer that question. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and let Leland speak so that he can answer that question for us.
Well, the simple answer to that question is, yeah, it does have CMDB and change management features. That's a specific feature in BOSS, and the way the change management is going to work is it works through our help desk suite, and it ties in to a custom report that we've created. Now, when you start a change management process, it goes through like a voting system, and through your report you're going to be able to see a ticket that has been created originally and what is the score based on your risk assessment and how likely that change is going to be to go through. If that score has a very low risk assessment, and that's going to be calculated using under the hood using a mathematical equation based on how you want to weight your decisions. But if it's a very low score, then it goes through very easy with no need to go through a change management election. And if it's a higher score, then it goes through the election.
Thank you so much, Leland. Thank you so much, Leland. Does anyone else have any questions? We have answered all that came across. If you do not, and you think of something that you would like for us to address or answer for you, feel free to email me. I am going to show you our final screen where I can actually give you my contact information. I'm going to show my screen with you and let you, pardon me for 1 second. Should have had that up before I did it. 1 second. So basically, this information is for you to give me a call, send me an email at any time. Any information that you might want to ask about. I am not a salesperson. I am here to make sure our customers are happy and that you are getting everything that you need. If it is related to support, you would continue to contact support as you normally would. So just wanted to make sure that that was clear. And I'm going to now give you my, I apologize for that, guys. Didn't mean to make you wait. But we've got my contact information here, my email address, as well as Leland's email address. He is in our support department. We've also got the information to contact BOSS support, the email address, support@boss-solutions.com, as well as our toll-free number. We've got our website address there, and we encourage everyone, if you haven't done so already, to join our BOSS forum. We post things there, we answer questions, we have customer interaction on the BOSS forum, and our support technicians will regularly go in and add, tips and tricks and informative things that you can learn. Also, new features and functionality regarding new releases are put on there as well. Anything regarding webinars, upcoming webinars will be listed there. So you're going to find a lot of information there, and again, you can share information amongst yourselves, with other customers, and we found it to be pretty beneficial for everyone. I want to thank you guys for participating and sitting in with us. If you're interested in seeing a demonstration of BOSS Support Central, if there's anything we didn't cover that you would like us to cover, or if you'd like to have a proof of concept installed on site where you basically can try out the product, you can just let me know and I'll have someone in sales contact you. We want to thank you for your time and for your attendance. I will be sending out the recording of this webinar along with the catalog that Brian and Keith have offered to share with you. And again, if you come up with any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I will be more than happy to help you. Thanks again, Brian and Keith. We really appreciate your time.
No problem.
Okay, everybody have a great day. Thanks so much. Goodbye.